Hi, I'm Sophia Passioni.
And I'm Annabelle Tony.
We're doing a project for our government class, and it's called the 20% Project.
And each week, for our project, we have chosen that each week we will be making videos to inform everybody who watches about a different social issue.
So this week, we're going to talk about depression. And depression, it's a little bit different than just feeling sad like every now and then. If you have depression, it's both pain for you and for the people that care about you. And it affects your daily life. It's not just something that just happens one time. And the most severe depression can get better with treatment, but a lot of times people have even more problems when they take the medicine. The different types of depression, there's major depression, which they have severe symptoms that affect their daily life, like sleeping, studying, eating. They can't really enjoy life. And this person has more severe episodes than someone that doesn't have major depression. And then there's persistent depression disorder, which means that they're in a depressed mood for at least 2 years, and they might have major depression along the periods of them, but not the whole time. And this also is psychotic depression, which occurs when a person has severe depression in a form of psychosis, and they're having, false beliefs and a break with reality and stuff like that, and delusions. They have delusions, and hallucinations and such. There's also postpartum depression, which is more serious because it's called the baby blues, and it's happens after you give birth, and you're having physical. It can be really overwhelming when you're dealing with a newborn baby. So you're probably more depressed on physical, and you probably have also other problems with your mental state. And 10 to 15% of the women experience postpartum depression after birth. And then the last one is seasonal affective disorder, which is also SAD, and it's onset depression in the winter months when there's less natural sunlight. And this is generally happens, and it's usually treated with light therapy, and sometimes it can be treated with medication and psychotherapy.
Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the causes of depression. So usually depression is caused by a combination of genetic, biological, environmental, and psychological factors. A depressive illness is it's a disorder of the brain, and they are able to see these patterns that have show up on MRIs, because they have compared the brains of people who have depression and those who do not, and their brain images come up different. The parts of the brain that are involved in mood, thinking, sleep, appetite, and behavior appear different, but these do not reveal why depression occurs.
Sorry.
Some types of depression can run through a family, so it's not necessarily genetic, but it's like if somebody's depressed, then if you see a loved one depressed, you could get depressed too. And it can occur, though, in people who don't have family history of depression also. There's also depression episodes can occur without a trigger. You could just get sad, just become sad, wake up and become sad one day, and then it gradually gets worse. There's no real trigger to some of them. Yeah, that's about it for the causes.
So the symptoms. Well,
there's a lot.
Persistent sadness, so empty feeling, just sadness all the time. Feelings of hopelessness and pessimism. Feelings of guilt and worthlessness and helplessness. Irritability and restlessness, so you don't sleep very well. You have trouble sleeping. Loss of interest in activities and hobbies that you once liked. Fatigue and decreased energy. Difficulty in concentrating, remembering details, or making decisions, so you have really hard time focusing. Insomnia or early morning wakefulness, and excessive sleeping, so it could be you don't sleep at all or you sleep all the time. Overeating or appetite loss, so either or again. thoughts of suicide or suicide attempts, and aches or pains, headaches, cramps, digestive problems that just don't ease even with like treatment. They just keep on going. So those are the main signs and symptoms of depression.
So those are the things that you want to look for.
Yeah.
If you're worried about somebody.
But don't, like, if you feel like that you're eating too much, don't
think
that
you're
you have
depressed.
depression.
Yeah, it's but like if you notice that somebody's like doing
Eating a lot.
follows a lot of
Yeah.
those patterns, then maybe you should like talk to them and see what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the people who are at risk, every single year, about 6.7% of adults in the United States experience major depression. And women are actually 70% more likely than men to experience depression throughout their lifetime. And the average age of people who experience the depression is 32 years old.
What about teenagers?
Well, the teenager, it usually happens between, well, the percentages, the statistics are that 3.3% of teenagers 13 to 18 years old have experienced a debilitating depressive disorder, which affects their lives because that is when they're growing the most and they need to be focused and everything. And
they're in school.
Yeah, and that's a big effect on them.
The treatments, you can obviously have medication and antidepressants, but the only problem with that is sometimes it can help, sometimes it doesn't, and usually when it does help, it makes you feel not okay. Like, it might take the depression away, but it physically makes you not feel right.
And they could make it worse.
Yeah, it could make it worse. So that all depends on the person and which medicine you're taking, because there's a lot of different antidepressants. You can also do therapy or psychotherapy, and, seeing a specialist on a regular basis and talking to them, which, like, talk therapy, basically. And then you can also have electroconvulsive therapy and other brain stimulation therapies. That's actually not used as much as the other two, but you can also use that, which is shock therapy. So,
which it's the choice of the patient and depends on how severe their depression is, but that is the rarest one
out of them.
Yeah. Okay, so if you think somebody that you know is depressed,
how can you help and make a difference?
There are ways that you can help. So one of the big things is to be there for them. You have to be able to offer emotional support, and you have to be understanding and patient, and you have to be encouraging to them. If you talk to them, listen carefully. That is a key thing, because a lot of people who are depressed, sometimes they feel like they're not being listened to, which is a big thing. So make sure that you're just there and listening. Don't dismiss their feelings. Make sure you point out the realities and offer hope and words of encouragement. Don't ignore their comments about suicide. Report them to their therapist or doctor. Even if you think, like, it sounds like they said it as a joke, that's not something to joke about. I mean, you don't know if they're really thinking about it. And it's like, oh, I'm totally joking. That's important. Make sure that gets, somebody knows about that besides just you, because you could save their life. Invite them out for a walk. A walk is very good because you're outside, and it's a great activity. Like, it's an activity to keep someone busy. Don't push them, though, if they're adamant to. Like, if they don't want to do it, don't push them. Also, you can provide them assistance to going to their doctor's appointments. Like, if they're like, oh, no, I'm fine, I don't want to go, or they're like, they wake up and they're just so sad that they don't want to go.
Or they're tired.
Yeah, they may be tired that could be a thing. It may be like their mental state that they're too tired, but just try to give them some encouragement to get them to go, because their doctor's appointments are there to help. The doctors are there to help, so that's important. And remind them that with the treatment, over time, it will get better. They just have to keep going. Yeah,
keep going.
Yeah, don't give up. Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Yeah, remember Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming.
Dory's coming out this year.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm gonna go see that.
So am I. So then, to help yourself, you don't want to wait too long to get evaluated and see if you have depression or get treatment, because there is research that shows if you wait too long, no.
Oh my goodness.
Well, if you wait too long, sorry about that, we had a malfunction. If you wait too long, then it could be a greater problem down the road, and it could be a little bit harder. And so if you feel like you have depression, you need to try to be active and get out there. Try to go to a baseball game or a movie or something that you once enjoyed. Just try to go back into the things that you used to love to do. Set realistic goals for yourself. Like, a non-realistic goal for me would be a movie star. Obviously, that isn't in my horizon at this moment. But maybe making a basketball through the hoop or getting an A on my next test. Those are realistic. Maybe not the basketball one for me.
Maybe not the A. No,
But, I'm joking. But, okay. So, getting a B on a math test instead of an A, alright? I mean, instead of a C. Anyway. Okay. So, you understand that. Also, try to spend time with your friends and family and your loved ones, because that's really important, and try to talk to them. Try to find someone that you can talk to, because that's super important, because whether or not you don't want to talk about it, it really does help to talk to someone about your problems. And don't expect your mood to go, change super quick for depression to just go away. It takes time. It's not going to change in a day. Also,
don't make rash decisions.
Don't make rash decisions. Just take your time and think through it. You have time, so just think about what you're gonna do before. Don't do any I'm gonna quit my job and do this, or I'm gonna just think about it for a minute or two. More than a minute or two.
Oh, just think about it.
Think about it. Remember all the positive things, because if you continue to think negative thoughts, negative things are just going to happen, and you're focusing on the negative. You really need to think about the positive and just try as hard as you can to think of positive moments in your life, because there is a positive, I promise you.
There's always a positive. And it is proven that our brains automatically think negative thoughts because it's easier for a negative thought to come into our mind than a positive. So you do have to
work harder. Make your brain work.
You do have to work harder to think of something positive, but it will help you feel better, because there are positive things in your life, and
sorry, my stomach just
and they are there. You just have to think about them and find them.
Exactly. And continue to educate yourself on depression. If you don't really know if you have it or not, or if you, even though you do know that you have it,
don't deny it.
Yeah, don't deny it.
I know it's hard, and you're thinking, oh, you don't want to, you may think there's just all kinds of thought. When people are sad, they don't think to help themselves, and so if your loved ones are telling you oh, you are if loved ones are telling you that you need to get help or something, or that you seem sad or whatever, it never hurts to help, to try, even if you end up going to a doctor and talking to someone and they're like, oh, you're fine.
Chances are it's better that you did that and you better checked it.
Yeah.
Checked it out.
Yeah.
So, a charity.
Okay, yes. So, thank you for listening to us and learning about
the duo. The dynamic duo, Soph and Belle.
Oh,
even though her name's not Belle. My name's Soph, though.
Yeah, okay.
Annabelle.
Okay,
Annabelle.
Anyway, if you are interested in helping, there is a charity that you can donate to. It's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and we will post the link to it below in the description.
Click it, like it, share it. Hey.
It actually, I'm pretty sure that this charity got big after Robin Williams died. I'm pretty sure that's what I read, because
he was a lot. Suicide prevention.
Yeah, it's just a big thing for him. So, yes, it's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and they work to help understand and prevent suicide, and by supporting the research that looks at the causes of suicide, helping those who have suicidal thoughts,
or depression,
right? Which a lot of time leads to suicidal thoughts, which is very important that you get help, and because. And so it also can help those who have lost someone to suicide. And because depression does not, even if you're the depressed one, it's affecting everybody around you. That's a big thing.
It doesn't just affect one person.
Yeah, it's it could cause, if you're married, if the wife goes into depression, it could cause the husband to become depressed. I mean,
Yeah, or the child.
Or if there's two best friends and one's depressed, it could cause the best friend to become depressed. Like, you have to make sure that you are that you are looking out for those around you. So if you would like to donate, the link is below in the description.
Thank you for listening to our first
Thank
video.
you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.